Hey friends, welcome to Fly with Liz. I am Liz, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and give me a thumbs up. If you're returning and haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so right now, and also give me a thumbs up. It helps with my algorithms, helps grow this channel, and I really appreciate it if you're watching this. I love to give you advice, and as much as I can, I will definitely share. So let's talk about today. We're going to talk about how to pass the online assessment. Some good tips and tricks to pass that online assessment so that you can move on one step closer to getting that CGO to be a flight attendant, which is everybody's dream if you're watching this. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to pass that online assessment for the flight attendant application process, and then at the end, if you stay tuned, I will also give you some bonus tips. So make sure you stay till the end, and I will give you some bonus tips as to what to do after you get passed. After you do your online assessment, there's a couple steps after that I do want to let you know so that it'll just move you along even quicker. I am outside today. As you can tell, I want to be outside. It's been raining for the past month in Los Angeles, so hopefully you can hear me. I know there's some car noises, but it's just so good to be outside. So I am enjoying the weather, and I thought I'd bring you out here with me today. Before I start the video today, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Miriam. This is actually the first thing I've received, and it's just even amazing to me that people are watching my videos. So first, thanks everybody for watching. But she sent me this, and I picked it up at my post office today, and I was blown away. I am just so grateful and thankful, and it was a really kind gesture. She sent on the note, "Hi Liz, your YouTube videos helped me a lot with my interview with AA. Thank you, love, Miriam." And I'm going to tag the company. This is Dave Me and Company, where this is from. There's her little note, and this is what she sent me. If you can see, it's a gorgeous bracelet. Bracelet came in this cute little bag, and it said, "Beyond grateful, thank you so much." Her note is on the other side. Again, it just really touched my heart, and I'm glad I could help. So that is amazing, and it was just really a kind gesture. So I am going to treasure it and wear it, and thank you so much. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is grab a piece of paper and a pen. When you're getting ready to take your online assessment, make sure you have that with you. You don't know what notes you're going to want to jot down, anything you want to remember, and remember, you can write your own notes. So grab yourself a pen and a paper to take with you when you're taking that online assessment. Make sure you set aside time. If it says it's going to be 20 minutes for the online assessment, make sure you set aside at least 30 minutes so that if it does take longer, you have that time set aside in a quiet area where there are no distractions. That's probably the best way to set it up. If you need headphones to concentrate, also grab that before you start your online assessment. When you have that pen and paper and you're ready to start your online assessment, my suggestion is that at the top of it, because the two things that are most important when you are a flight attendant is safety and customer service. Safety always comes first, and then customer service. So go ahead, turn to a blank piece of paper in your notebook and write safety at the top, and then customer service underneath. It will remind you as you're taking the online assessment to focus on that. I also suggest as number 3, so 1 is safety, 2 is customer service that you write down, and 3 is what would a flight attendant do? What would my employer want me to do? So if you keep that list and then you're answering questions, it will give you a good self-check as you're taking that test to think about those 3 things in order as you're answering the questions. Another thing you want to remember is to be consistent with your answers. Sometimes airlines do ask the same question more than once in different ways, usually at the beginning of the test, online assessment, and then at the end. They want to make sure that you're being authentic and honest and answering the question the way you really believe instead of just guessing or choosing an answer because you think that's what the airline wants to hear. So remember, consistency is key when you're answering those questions, especially if it has to do with your work ethic, how loyal you are, or things that relate to a job and being an employee for an employer. When you're answering the questions, you definitely want to be authentic and speak your truth. So I am telling you this because if you want to be a flight attendant, most likely these are true to you, but of course my first suggestion is always be honest and authentic and true to yourself. Do not lie to pass your online assessment, because the truth will come out and the airlines will know, especially when you go to the face-to-face. they have a good meter for telling whether you're being honest and authentic. So you might be able to pass the online assessment, but if you are making it all up, you most likely will not pass that face-to-face. So first and foremost, when you're answering the online assessments, if they are about your personality or the way you act, be authentic and answer the questions for real. But always keep in mind that they are looking for somebody that is positive and happy and a go-getter and able to solve problems, a problem solver. They also want a leader, so it is important to have leadership skills, but as a flight attendant, you are working with a different crew in a team environment probably every time you work, unless you're working regional and you're on, you might be flying by yourself, but that's a whole different thing. I'm mainly talking about mainline and the legacy airlines, and regional when you do have somebody. So teamwork is a big part of being a flight attendant. So you want to make sure that when you're answering those questions, again, you are answering them in relationship to, are you a good team member? Are you a good leader? Can you take control if you have to? Are you positive? Do you bring drama? Employers don't. The airlines employers do not want drama. It's a different world after COVID. You have all seen what happens sometimes on airplanes. We never want that to happen, but they definitely don't want it to happen from their staff, the flight attendants themselves. We are there to de-escalate any situations that happen. So they don't want you to be bringing drama to their company. So when you're answering those questions, think about all of those things and it will lead you in the right direction. Sometimes airlines do have a scale where it's like strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. And that's how they want you to answer the questions. I would say that it's okay to but strongly agree, definitely when you do follow that. Sometimes a question you might, strongly agree or strongly disagree depending on the answer. But if you put every single 100% strongly and then answer it, it doesn't come off as that authentic, because there are, I'm sure, one or two questions that you might not strongly agree, depending on what the question is. So again, make sure you are being authentic in those answers, but if it does have to do with safety or customer service, usually the best bet is to go with the strongly agree or strongly disagree, whatever the question is that fits the best. It's so beautiful. I cannot wait until this tree has oranges on it and get to pick them nice and fresh. So when you're talking about safety comes first and then customer service. So when you're answering the questions, remember that. An example of that, or two different situations, is changing someone's seat. If you're on the plane and somebody requests to change their seat before the plane takes off, and you have somebody that wants to change their seat, and then you have somebody that is in the exit rows and say they're 10 years old, both are the same situation. Both people are going to have their seats moved, or are looking to have their seats moved. But one is about safety and one is just customer service, convenience. The guest wants to move their seat. So you would always focus on the first one, which would be, in that situation, the 10-year-old, the child in the exit rows would be your priority, is to switch them out first. Make sure that you are following your guidelines and put adults in those exit rows, and then you would see if customer service wise, if you have room where you can switch the other guest. So always focus on safety first, any concerns first that have to do with safety when you're answering those online assessment questions, and then customer service is next. If the online assessment includes a video that you have to watch, be sure to take notes, listen to it very carefully, listen to what they are explaining or what they need you to do, and you have that pen and paper from the beginning, so jot down some notes, because once you watch a video, you are sure to be having to answer questions on the video you just watched. If you've watched up to this point, go ahead and put a little orange emoji for the orange tree out here down below so that I can see you watching, and I will definitely comment. Thank you so much. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the like button if you haven't done so yet. I would appreciate that. And here are your bonus tips for the online assessment. After you finish the online assessment, sometimes there is a survey right after. They might ask you a couple questions. They might say, the online assessment is done, please answer these questions, or you might get a follow-up email regarding how the process went for you about that online assessment. Or, sorry, there's some noise because of the cars, but I just really wanted to be outside today, soaking in the sun and enjoying the weather. So I hope you can hear me okay. I apologize for a little bit of noise. So if you get that online assessment, sometimes it's a survey that comes to your email about how the process is going, how the application process is going. I've seen a couple different airlines send them out, or again, after the online assessment, right after it, it'll say your online assessment is done, you have finished it, please answer a couple follow-up questions. Be sure to answer those questions. I don't know as far as if they do help you or don't help you. I honestly don't know, but what I can tell you is when you're applying for a job, the more you can do, the better. So why wouldn't you take the time? Takes probably 2 minutes to answer every single thing they send you and every question. Remember, you want to work for that airline. So taking that little bit of extra time to answer the survey, believe me, I am the first person that I do something and 2 seconds later I get an email to my inbox to answer a survey. I am just like, I just gave you business. I don't really want to answer a survey and rate you and get all these emails. So I am not a huge fan of that. But this is a different situation. You are applying for a job, so you want to do everything you can. And like I said, I don't know if they take it into consideration in your survey or the questions, maybe if they do have questions reviewing their application process. I don't know if they take that into effect, but keep in mind that they might. So you want to answer it positively, you want to be truthful, and you want to be honest, but you definitely want to answer every single question positively when it comes to that. So that is my bonus tip for today. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to post another video here regarding the face-to-face, so click on that. That is going to be your next step if you pass the online assessment, and I do have other videos as far as getting that 𝐂𝐄𝐒. So I wish you the best of luck if you're in the middle of this process. If you're working on it, you got this. Stay positive. If you don't get the first one, keep trying. You will get it. Just keep in mind that you want your dream and you're going to make it happen. Until I see you next time, sending you hugs, travel safe, and be kind.
3, 2, 1!
This is next for that. And like again, if I said, if it does have to do with what kind of a good way of telling whether I can't think of the word, way is, I don't know if you can see this guy right here. I'm gonna try to see if you can see him hanging out with me. See if I can zoom in a little bit. Little gecko friend joined me. This orange tree literally smells so delicious with all of these blossoms on it. Just sitting out here near it smells so delicious, and you can see all the little bees there flying around. They love it too. Huge fan of nature. So little interruption to show you how beautiful that is, and to stop and take a minute to breathe and take a deep breath. Everything will be okay. You will get your 𝐂𝐄𝐒. Practice these things, and in your time you will get it. Stay confident and stay positive. You want to focus on being positive, being a team member, being goal-oriented and a problem solver, so that the airline sees your personality through the online test. As I'm talking about this next point, I thought I would show you this beautiful orange tree that we have right here, and it is swarming and with bees. I am not afraid of bees. I mean, I never want to get stung. Nobody ever wants to get stung, but I'm trying to zoom in so you can see a bee here.